Hey everyone, in this video I'll show you how to add objects or actors to your world in Greenfoot. So our world is this game screen right here, and its code is in this class, my world, and we have three actors. We have a crab, a lobster, and a worm. An object is a crab that is created from this code, or a lobster that's created from this code, or a worm created from that code. And we can add multiple copies of a worm on the screen, so we can have multiple objects. So to add something to your screen, you're going to go into your world code. And Greenfoot writes a little bit of this for you. It created the class. It creates what's called a constructor here. And that's actually pretty important. A constructor is code that runs once when something is made or constructed. So what we want to do here is we want to add something to the world when it's constructed. So it starts off there. Right here, this is how big the world is. We can't add anything until the world is made, so we have to put it after this, but inside these curly braces here. And what we do is we use a method called add object. Methods have tacos or parentheses at the end, and this method needs three pieces of information when we do it. And we put those pieces of information in these tacos, or parameters they're called. The first thing it needs is, what are we going to make? So we're going to make a new crab. And crab also has tacos after it. So that's the first piece we need, so let's put a comma. The second piece of information it needs is its x coordinate. So let's put it in the middle of the world, so that would be half of 1200. Let's put it at 600. And then let's put a comma, and then it needs its y coordinate. And again, let's put it in the middle of the world. So let's put half of 800, which would be 400. If we press compile, we can go to our world and check and see now that we have a crab in the middle of the world when it's built. So we can add other things the same way. Let's go to the world code and let's add an object. And we need three things again. We want a new worm with tacos, and then where on the screen we want the worms to be. So let's go 100, comma 100, and let's press semicolon. Now, this game would be really, really boring if the worm always appeared right here and there was only one of them. So one thing that we can do to improve that is we can go back to the world, and instead of using coordinates that are hard-coded, where it's always going to be 100, 100, we can replace this with a random number. So we can write Greenfoot dot get random number, and then get random number has its own set of tacos or parentheses where you need to put a parameter. And the information that get random number needs is what is the highest number it can get. It'll go from 0 to the highest number in this parenthesis. So let's put 1200 in there, because that's how big our world is in the x direction. And then let's copy and paste this for the y and put it right here. And let's make this 800, because that's how tall our world is. So if we press compile and we close this, now a worm showed up right here. But if we press reset, a worm showed up right there, or up here. Every time it's picking random numbers. So that makes the game a little bit more fun and a little bit more random. But again, one worm is kind of boring, so we can go back to the world and we could copy and paste this a whole bunch of times to have a whole bunch of worms show up in our world. So we can press compile, and now we have multiple worms. So we can press reset and we have worms everywhere. What you're going to need to do is add a lobster to the screen. So do that and check our next video.